Hello everyone out there in Flosstube land. This is Carrie, also known as the Lone Star Cross Stitcher, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel and my third Flosstube video. It's been a pleasure to create these videos for you and actually have people subscribe and comment on them. If you're new to this channel, I talk about cross stitch and a little bit about my life towards the end of the video. So I enjoy sharing this craft with other people, as other people have so graciously shared craft with me in the past. So let's get started. Today is Tuesday, June the 10th, and it's about 8 o'clock at night. And here in Texas, it's really hot. I think summer has arrived, unfortunately. So I've been spending a lot more time inside and stitching. So I will share with you some of what I have finished and what I'm working on and what my plans are for the future. So let's get to the exciting part, the finishes. This is Resplendent Autumn. It's part of a series by Summerhouse Stitchworks, and it's called Modern Organics, but the actual name of the chart is Resplendent Autumn. This is part of a series by them. They do a chart for each season, and I've done all the seasons now. I think next week I'll put them all together and show you all 4 of the pieces. This is the last piece that I did in the series. It's called Gentle Spring. These are fairly, excuse me, easy and quick stitches. It only takes 3 or 4 DMC colors, and I stitch those on 14 count Aida. So that's all my finishes this week. The whips, my works in progress. Let's go to Seeking Refuge. This is becoming one of my favorites. See if I can get it turned around here. So since my last video, I think I finished the door and I finished this part of the house. So I've got about half the house actually finished without the roof. This is what the chart looks like, finished. I know several of you are working on this, and I'm enjoying stitching it as well. It's done on Picture This Plus Sand, 28 Lugana, and I'm using the recommended specialty flosses. The next one that I'm going to show you is Spring Angel. It's a DesignWorks kit that Jim Shore, I believe, designed. I'm not sure how all that works together, but this is how far I've gotten. Let me show you the picture first. This is the finished angel, and I've done most of her skirt. I think I'm down to about here. It's a kit done on Aida, and it has I'm using just the regular kitted floss. There's a lot of pretty colors in it, and as I think I've said before, this is part of a series also. He has one for each series. I've finished one, and the other 2 are waiting in the wings. And then one that I started in December, but I haven't worked on it very much, is called, I call it Not All of Us. And it's by Lizzie Kate. And this is where I got. It's one of their little box kits, and excuse me, my eyes are not what they used to be. It's a 32 count flax Belfast linen, and I'm using the recommended DMC colors for that. I'm also using this for one of the challenges, one of the cross stitch Facebook groups that I'm in. is doing an alphabet, what they call alphabet soup. And every 2 weeks they feature a different letter of the alphabet. So this is L for Lizzie Kate. So that's what I have been working on. My plans are to continue on with the Lizzie Kate piece I just showed you, and also to finish a piece that I can't show you yet. It's a piece that I'm doing for an exchange, a stitching exchange in our local Facebook group, DFW Cross Stitchers. And I will show it to you probably my next video after I've mailed it and the recipient has acknowledged it. This exchange has been really fun. My person chose patriotic, others chose summer, and we send the exchange includes, a stitched piece, an over-dyed floss, a stitching accessory, some little candy, and whatever else you decide to throw in the box. And it's a lot of fun to see other people's stitching and also to receive them, because you never know what you're going to get. Anyway, I will hopefully show you that next time. And so the other thing, my guiding principle for this month, I sometimes have trouble figuring out what I want to stitch. And so I'm part of Jen Lee's 24 Hours of Cross Stitch group, and she does an acrostic every month. She figures out a series of words or a phrase, and then we match up charts to each letter. So let me show you what it looks like for June, and the ones that I've picked. And we can make any connection to the letter that we want. It can be a theme, it can be the title, it can be the stitcher. I have several with Y's that I use year-long project. I have several massive year-long projects that I work on that I put in there. And we can do tracking our time, we can count our stitches, or just pick a goal for that piece. And I mean, it's there's no reward at the end of it except just the thrill of accomplishment. And it's always interesting and fun to see other people's acrostic completed and how they figure out connections to different charts and different maybe designers, or there may be a B on the acrostic, I can't say that word, acrostic, and somebody will put like a butterfly or an actual bee. And it's a lot of fun. It's just a different way to pick out what to stitch on for a while. And I've enjoyed it. I've been doing this since probably last fall. I'm not sure how long Jan's been doing it, but check out that group. She also hosts a 24-hour marathon every 3 or 4 months, I think it is. And she picks a weekend, and then we stitch for 24 hours. And it can be 24 hours straight, or you can break it up over the course of the weekend. There's Team Sleep, which includes me because I have to sleep. Or there's Team Caffeine, no sleep. People just stitch 24 hours straight or 18 hours straight, and it's really a lot of fun. So that's kind of where I am today. I've spent the last couple of days kind of reorganizing and seeing what I've got in my stash. I had a stitching journal that I started a few years ago, but it fell by the wayside. I forgot to keep it up. So I found a new notebook. I love notebooks. And so I created this one, and this is going to be my new stitching journal. This is what it looks like. Had actually made this at a church retreat a few years ago, and so that's why the Bible verse is there in the bottom. And then this is what my page looks like. Let's see if So I put 2 on a page, and a lot of you may think, well, why don't you do it in a spreadsheet or do it online or do it in the cloud? Well, I'm 67 years old, and I like certain things old school. I know how to do spreadsheets and all that other stuff, but with cross stitching especially, I like to just be able to look at it or pull out my journal and write on it and make notes on it. So consider me old school. I include the title, the designer, whether it's a, excuse me, allergies, all this wind, and there's a front that's come through that's bringing West Texas dust with it. Anyway, the title, the designer, whether it's a kit or a chart, where I bought it and when I bought it, the date I started it, the date I finished it, any notes about the fabric, threads, kind of what I used to create it with, and then any project notes on it. And it's just a way for me to kind of keep track of my stitching. I didn't do one for many years, and now I think it's time because I am stitching more. And helps keep track of, where I am on projects, when I started them, when I finished some, how many I've got, which is a little daunting at times. I do have a spreadsheet that lists all my charts, and I've broken it down by whips and new starts, and it's a little overwhelming at times. I think at one point I had like 37 whips and probably that many, ready to be started, what I call new starts. So it's my stash is the acronym SABLE, SABLE, stash available beyond life expectancy. And I am living proof of that, or the epitome of that particular acronym, in case you haven't heard it before. Let's see. So my plans for the next couple of weeks, again, finish the exchange piece and get it framed and sent off. I'll be working on the Lizzie Kate, Not All of Us chart. And then, I don't know if I told you, but I'm part of a charity group, the Angel Quilt Project. And we, there's two pieces to it. Cross stitchers who stitch pieces for the center and pieces of the quilt, and then ladies and men actually that put the quilts together. And James Farmer heads it all up, and he is in contact with hospitals, I think, around the world. And we send these to the NICUs in the hospital for the preemie babies so that they have something warm and something handmade to keep them warm and to keep them, I guess, comforted while they're in the hospital and even after they go home. And so I've made one piece for it, and my goal for this month and probably into July is to make some more pieces, to cross stitch some more pieces and send those off to him. So if you're interested in that, there is a Facebook page. It's called The Angel Quilt Project, or you can leave me a comment below and or email me, and I'll let you know more about it. So this is actually a short video. I was hoping I'd have more to show you and more to talk about. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. And just a reminder to subscribe if you'd like to see some more. And I hope you have a wonderful night and a wonderful week. Thanks.